Visiting German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President François Hollande have vowed to fight together against terrorism in the wake of those deadly terrorist attacks in Paris. And Germany has promised 650 troops to join the French-led peacekeeping mission in Mali. Our correspondent Kate Parkinson has more from Paris.
Denn es ist unser gemeinsamer Feind, der Terrorismus.
Terrorism is our common enemy. It is our common task to fight it. The Islamic State can't be convinced with words, but it must be fought with all means.
I think that she has taken important measures, and I would like to thank her for it. I won't forget what she has done to lend her support as we launched our intervention in Mali. Again today, she announced that she was in a position to deploy more personnel in Mali, and this will allow for our forces to deploy elsewhere and continue to intervene in the Sahel.
This is certainly news that is most welcome to France. French troops are engaged in anti-jihadist operations in Mali and other African countries, as well as engaged in the military airstrikes against so-called Islamic State targets in Iraq and Syria. And, of course, in the wake of the January terror attacks and now these November terror attacks, France has thousands of troops deployed here in France and has admitted that its military is overstretched. Meanwhile, in the French Parliament, the lawmakers here in Paris voted unanimously in favour of extending France's air operations against IS targets in Iraq and Syria. This means the airstrikes will continue beyond January, but already a lot of people questioning whether it is enough. Some reports from Syria say the targets that are being struck are empty, they've been abandoned, fighters have already fled. And of course, the French President François Hollande is on a diplomatic push this week trying to get global support for his idea of this grand coalition to defeat the terrorist group. But France has ruled out sending in ground troops, as has the United States, and people are questioning whether airstrikes alone can defeat the terror group. Of course, this is not a new strategy. The US-led coalition in Iraq and Syria has been carrying out airstrikes since August last year, and a lot of people wondering whether the military strategy will work and whether without a political strategy there is any hope for defeating the Islamic State. Of course, François Hollande will be holding talks on Thursday with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. We'll find out then whether Russia is on board with Hollande's idea for this global coalition. But while divisions still remain between the West, France and the United States and Moscow over the role that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad plays in Syria, France and the US, of course, saying he must go. Putin, of course, propping him up for a long time now. And while these divisions still remain, a lot of people, a lot of analysts are saying that there is no hope for military or political success in Syria. Kate Parkinson, CCTV, Paris.